What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. And what I want to talk about today, because a lot of things are going on um, in the city of Houston and surrounding areas, there was an incident yesterday, I believe, where a pregnant black lady was shot and killed by an officer in Baytown, Texas. Baytown is like a little bit outside of Houston for those who are not familiar. And there's certain issues to this and certain layers to it that have to be addressed. Um, Number one, the claim of the officer and the police department was that the officer was justified in shooting this lady because she had managed, allegedly, to get his taser off of him. So, by her having the taser in her hand, it justified him shooting her 5 times. A taser. Now, the first thing that comes out of people's mouths who have this feeling that no matter what law enforcement does, they are correct. The first thing that will come out of their mouth is, well, she shouldn't have tried to grab the officer's weapon or his taser. And you can hold that argument all you want, but the problem with it is that there have been too many instances throughout the history of law enforcement in this country, in recent history in particular, that people have had far more dangerous weapons than tasers on them, drawn or threatening law enforcement with, and somehow those individuals still managed to be taken in alive or taken in a lot of cases, unscathed, unharmed, period. And you have a woman who was pregnant who somehow or another got the taser, not the gun, but the taser. And you, as an officer of 11 years with training, was not able to handle and diffuse that situation in any other manner other than to shoot this woman, not once, not twice, but allegedly 5 times. There have been stories that he shot 5 times and only connected once, but either way, he shot 5 times at a woman who was pregnant and had a taser, not a gun. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel pretty confident that me right now, I feel pretty confident that I would be able to handle a pregnant lady who was coming at me with a taser. I feel pretty confident that I could handle her and get control of that situation without having to pull a gun out and shoot the lady. Now, maybe she'd pop me, maybe she wouldn't have in a scuffle, who knows? But I know for a fact that with 11 years of training, you should have been able to fix that situation without having to resort to deadly force, which seems to always be the case. And the police apologists are going to be coming out and saying the things that I said earlier. And but we never hear that in other cases where individuals have pointed pistols at the officers, and the officers are standing there trying to talk them down, talk them off the ledge per se, or they have standoffs that last literally for hours in terms of trying to figure out how to safely rectify the situation. It's funny how when it relates to black people, that deadly force is always the first option, when in fact, according to your training, it should be the last option. If you're in danger of your life justifiably, then you got to do what you got to do. But you can't make me believe that this woman was a threat to your life because she had taken your taser from you. And of course, he's on leave. He gets a vacation. And there'll be outcry from the community. There'll be outcry from the local activists. It's even a national story now. And that's the second part of it. People kind of get caught up in what to do because we've seen this movie so many times, and there have been instances where people come out and we protest and we rally. I participated in many of those types of protests and rallies. But there's another side of black people who seem to oppose anything or any efforts that are carried out to rectify and bring attention to and possibly fix and bring solutions to these kind of problems as it relates to black people being killed by racist law enforcement. There are some among us who skip over the story and jump right into the criticism of those who are coming out to try to fight against it. Whether you agree with the effectiveness of protesting and rallying, whether you agree with that or not, because I can understand those who say it's worthless or it's a waste of time to get out and protest in the streets because we operating under a system that wasn't designed for us in the first place. So to come out and try to appeal to them, I guess in a sense, even to threaten them, I don't think they take us seriously. That being said, to our own people who still have words of criticism when those efforts are made, those who make mockery of those who get out and make those kind of stands, it displays a great level of ignorance on your part, and it displays a great level of disrespect to the people who have died or been murdered. Because you may say, well, nah, the protests and all that don't work, but and the leaders are only out for themselves, it's the fake activists and all these things of that nature. That's for the creator to decide, to judge that. Because if somebody is an agent, a government agent, posing as an activist and things of that nature, he gonna get his day. It's gonna be revealed and he'll get his day. But I'm one of those people who believe that even if you got an agent and a hypocrite in the ranks, even in the midst of his act as being an activist, he's faking. If he stands up there and gets on the mic, he's gonna say something that'll still make somebody watching at home be inspired to get in the fight for real. So all things work for the greater good. But my problem is these cats who sit at home on the internet all day and criticize every single thing that black people do or try to do, whether it worked, whether it didn't work, whether it was a good idea, whether it's a bad idea, they don't care even about the situation. And the question is, well, how you know they don't care? You know how I know they don't care? Because they don't do anything, anywhere, at any time. It's okay for you to disagree with methodologies. That's fine. But if I'm going to disagree with your methodology, I'm going to be found exhibiting a different strategy that I feel will be beneficial to a solution. If I'm not found doing that, then I'm just talking. I'm just grandstanding. I'm just showboating and soapboxing to get attention and trying to speak things that are of shock value into a situation, because many people disagree with philosophies and ideologies and ways of fixing problems, but the wise among us who have those types of disagreements in their minds and their hearts, they take alternative routes. If you're not taking an alternative route and you just sitting on the sideline yapping, then you almost worse than the enemy. Matter of fact, you are the enemy. So at the end of the day, man, we have to, if we're going to talk about unity, we can't make everybody unite. We can't make all of our people unite. We can only lay out the blueprint and try to be the best examples that we can be. Because we know our unity is more powerful than an atomic bomb, according to the great teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But when we have those among us who are just, I don't want to use the word critical, because it's okay to be critical, but ignorant in their displays of disagreement, and totally stagnant in their works. You have no works. So you criticize Minister Farrakhan. You criticize local leaders. You criticize religious leaders. And some of those people are worthy of criticism. No one's above criticism, but make sure you studied and researched to make sure that person is worthy of the things that you're saying, and make sure that your work is up, that you out here getting it. Because I ain't seeing you. I don't see you out here. Plain and simple. I see you posting all the time. Bunch of crap that you're posting on the internet all the time. I see that. But I don't see no boots on the ground. I don't see your boots on the ground. So where you at? Show us where we wrong. Fix it. You all wise, all knowing. Fix it. Fool. And that's what you are. You're a fool. Plain and simple. Because people who are not wise enough to recognize that all you're doing is talking, they'll follow behind, they'll like it and comment on it and pull out pom-poms for you. But I know you ain't doing nothing. You're not doing nothing. You're not doing nothing in your own community. You're hiding behind a keyboard or your phone or whatever you're doing, and you're just talking. And you're criticizing people like the minister who's been doing this work before you was even, when you were swimming in your daddy's nutsack. And you got the nerve to criticize a man whose works you can't even, your works compared to his would be like a drop of water compared it to the Pacific Ocean. So you're a fool. Get out here and show us something. Be more sensitive to the loss of life in our community instead of trying to find a way to criticize the tactics and the strategies that people who care, predominantly care, are out here exercising. I'm not going to stop the video because I got a phone call today. But at the end of the day, I will wrap it up by saying that My condolences to the family of that lady, that sister, and the loss of her life and the loss of her baby. Um, my condolences to baby Malia Davis's family. But that's a whole nother story. And y'all tune in to K-Rino Radio every Wednesday at 9 p.m. at kpft.org. And we'll discuss a lot of these situations, man. And y'all feel free to voice your opinions on it and call in. So just had to get that off my chest, man. The police who carry these acts out are cowards and racists. But unfortunately, some of our own brothers and sisters are cowards and hypocrites, because all you do is disrespect those who are really trying to do the work. We don't claim to be perfect, but if you're not doing nothing and you're just sitting around criticizing those who are in the safety of your own home, or what you believe to be the safety of your own home, you're a coward. And when this visits your family, let's see how you handle it. Peace.